Why, hello everyone. Good to see you, Paul Trani here. I see you, Katerina Jovanovic. Good to have you here. Biola, Kimmy J Designs, Michelle, Fabia, welcome. We're going to dive into the elements of art. So a lot of this is the fundamentals. It's like the building blocks, right? And next week we're going to get into the principles of designs. It's going to be good. Hello, Robert. How you doing? So just a quick reminder, you can post your work to Discord. Here's that URL, as you can see. And I'll switch over to my screen and we'll dive into this. Hi, Gina. How's everybody doing? Is everybody staying healthy and all that good stuff? I hope so. Daily Creative Challenges, you can see right in here. We are on basically day 4, right down here, form and texture. And just so you have it, ooh, zooming in and out. Yeah, I will go ahead and post elsewhere. There we go. If you're joining me elsewhere, which is Facebook and all that good stuff, then come, yeah. All right, cool. Just had to double check things. So right over here, get started. Click on that. You'll see this file, and that's what we will use. But big hand to everybody who's been participating in the daily creative challenges. Yesterday we played with color, by the way. Just so you know, we could be doing all of this on the iPad as well. And we can talk about sort of like when that break is from working on iPad to desktop. So, but anyways, I'm just gonna kind of switch over to my iPad if you don't mind. Again, form and texture, sort of taking a shape and then, you know, making it more than just a shape. So here we are, boom. Excuse me. Here I am with this file, form and texture, right? Super easy. Let me grab my Apple Pencil, right? We've been drawing, again, like I said, we could do this just as easily on the iPad, just kind of drawing out a square. We have those control points as well to make a square a circle, and then we can even add, say, an actual circle if we want to, right next to it, drawing that out. I hold down the Shift key and it will constrain it as well. So yeah, here we are, iPad, really fun, right? You guys get the idea. You have, of course, your triangle and additional controls. 6, there we go. So what I'm doing now, and we worked on this yesterday, or the day before yesterday when we were dealing with shapes. I have this triangle selected. On the desktop, it's actually the polygon. So anyways, I'll drag this up. I can take a triangle into a square, into a polygon, is that right? Octagon, all those gons, if you will, and we can make those different shapes. So just kind of showing you what you can do on iPad, and now we have our 3 lovely shapes that we can add color to and all that fun stuff. As we jump in here, sure enough, yeah, there's our color. Boom, easy. Let's throw a green right in there. Why not? Right. Let's go ahead and make this red. Let's make this one yellow or gold. Again, the primary colors, which is really fun. Like, primary colors are the 3 colors that you really can't mix to get these colors, but you can make all the other colors with these 3 primary colors. All right, so with that done, let's move on, shall we? Because I want to get into sort of shape and form. And again, I can do some of that still on the iPad, but I'm going to switch to my desktop because that's probably where most people are anyway. Let me know if you have... Happy Tuesday. Wait, did you say Thursday? Happy Thursday, everyone. I was like, Tuesday? No. There we are on my desktop. As I switch over, we can see all those changes that we made. Right, there it is. Form and texture. It's a PSDC font. It's a cloud document, an AIC. And excuse me, did I say PSDC? It's an AIC, an Illustrator cloud file. Not a Photoshop cloud file, but you can do the same there as well. Froja, hello, everyone. All right, so how do we take shapes and turn them into turn them into something that actually has form and has texture, right? So this is going to be really fun. One easy thing to do, right over here, excuse me. I'll just go ahead and duplicate this. Boop, it's duplicated, right? Let's open up our swatches panel. We'll just add a gradient right there, right? So I have this gradient in a circle, and I can distort that gradient by distorting the shape. So just like that, shrinking that up, moving it over, and now we're starting to give this this sphere form, right? Because now we're like saying, hey, this is a flat shape. Maybe it has depth, right? So I could add a little bit of shadow, but we're basically giving it form. So we're going to turn this circle into a sphere. So from this point, you probably know what I'm going to do. I'll jump out here. I can pick from some of these gradients right in here that are already pre-baked for you lovely people, right? And we can always change that. Maybe it's going to be red, and then we can also change that gradient by using the gradient tool. Too many people grab the center and they're like, I can't, why is it not moving? No, you need to grab this bar, and then we can move that up there because we see the lights coming from the upper left down to the lower right, and we can see how that looks. I'm going to add an additional color stop right here. So that's going to be red, one right here. Maybe we'll add another one right here, and one right over here. So I'm adding all these fun color stops. So for this one, I'm actually going to make a little bit darker red. So I'm going to change this to RGB, and we're just going to dip a little bit into the black, as you can see, right? So there we have it, right? You can see the color stops have been added here, but we could stretch that out and start to give this a little bit more form. Now, the reason I added this red on the end is this is sort of like a bounce light. So light's coming sort of from the backside, and there we have our lovely sphere. You guys get the idea, right? Gradients are your friends. They are your best friends. So there we have it, right? Sphere. I want to show you other ways to make spheres and cool shapes and everything, right? This is going to be really fun, right? Imagine if you wanted to make this square into a cube, okay? And, you know, I'll get into texture in a second. What I typically do is I go to Effect, I go to 3D, and then I go to Extrude and Bevel. Yes, how is Kimmy J Designs today? So let's go into Extrude and Bevel. So again, rather than me having to duplicate this, because this is what I'll see people do this. It's like, okay, let's make a cube, and they'll do this, and they'll come over here, you know, and whatever. Pick a darker color, right, and start to skew it, right? And this is too much work, and you know what? I'm lazy, right? We'll try to shear it like that, and we'll shear this side, right, to try to make this cube when we just don't need to do that, right? All we need to do is go to 3D, Extrude, and Bevel. And now we have what's soon to be our cube. So I do isometric left or right, change the light to be on this side. Excuse me. And I want to be aware of the size. So I'm going to look right up here. And we can see that this is an odd size. It's 219 pixels, but that's all I need to remember. If I want this to be a perfect square, again, we're going to make this depth 219, right? Just like that. And now we have that perfect cube, right? Just like that. Okay, and again, we could still change the lighting and all that fun stuff. Click OK. Boom, there we are. Right, there we are. Cool. Hello, everybody. Hey guy, how you doing? Hi, how are you today? Oh man, it's like my first time actually talking to people, so it's hard to go live without saying a word or even saying any words, which is, you know, I need to just talk to the cat more to warm up my voice. Okay, so there it is, easy enough. The great thing is we could always change this and adjust accordingly, right? All that fun stuff, you get the idea. From there, if you care to, you could then go ahead and expand appearance, right? Boom. And now we have those three vectors, right? Command Y. We have our cube, right? Command Y again. There we are. So we can ungroup this. And we can start to dial this in some more. change this however you want, right? So that's all. Super easy to do. We can apply texture to it. Let me do some more things really fast, though. I got my cube. Let's do that with, maybe with this guy. Yeah, why not? Shoot, how would I... We can make a cone out of this one. We could take this, okay? So rather than, you know, making a sphere this way, check this out. You ready for this? We're going to delete half this circle. We're just going to give it just a simple outline of red. Okay, so there we are, right? So that, rather than us trying to blend a, you know, to make a sphere by adding these gradients, which I absolutely love, we can say, hey, you know, let's take this, let's go to 3D, and rather than doing an extrude and bevel, we'll do a revolve. Hey, that sounds cool. Let's do a revolve, not around the left edge, but around the right edge. Boom, there we are. So now we have, we just get to play with this light source, and we can really see how that light is being treated on this newly created 3D element, right? Boom, you got it. Somebody said, Katarina said revolve. You got it. You could play with the light intensity, ambient light, and you can change this as well. It might be diffuse shading, makes it, gives you less options. But right in here, let's change the highlight intensity, crank it up, and now we have possibly a more true representation of 3D of this form than I did with my gradient. Because notice what's happening, by the way. Like, look at this. This shape of this highlight, it's actually an oval that's kind of tilted. Anytime you make a gradient using a radial gradient, it's always going to be a flat circle. So this is kind of more representative of an actual sphere. That looks pretty cool. You guys get the idea. Boom. Done. Done, done, done. Let's move that over. Yeah, we could do a number of things. I don't know. What else you guys want to do, huh? Just want to have some fun? Let's have some fun. Let's delete that line. Let's take this. There we go. Let's grab this. We'll do something similar. Line that up like so. Same thing. I'm going to do this really fast. Revolve, and then like adjust. I don't know. Just make it a little bit more interesting. Click OK. Now we have our 3 objects. Cool. The cool thing is I could always change the color of these. Like, I'm not crazy about this yellow. I'm going to change it to, of course, like a pink. We'll go over here. We'll change this sphere to, of course, like a teal. You guys know me. I'm always, it's like there's nothing new here. Ooh, let's undo that. Ooh. Take this one. And again, just playing with this. But let's get into, there we are. Let's get into some more things we can do, right? So I could drop in some colors. I can add some textures in the background. This might get very 80s style, and hopefully that's okay with you. There we go. And here we are. Here's this lovely, pretty vibrant color. Maybe I want to change it. I don't know. We'll just change it to a different color really fast. There we go. Let's just go with that. Let me just spend some quality time with this. I don't know. Still needs some work. I think it needs to be hot pink. There we go. Okay, so we have our shapes. We have this background. Now we're going to work on adding texture. Okay, so hopefully that works for you. Let's go back to the 80s. That's right. Jumping in here, I actually already have a lot of these created. I could show you how to create these patterns, but there's patterns already in here, right? So this is sort of adding texture to our elements. So we could do this. We could add texture by doing it a couple different ways. One easy way is just select your object and then go to Effect and go down to Style, Effect Gallery. Right, and right in here we can say, hey, you know what, give it sort of film grain, right? That's an easy thing you can do to just give this some film grain or any one of these other effects that you might be interested in, right? So that's one way to add some texture to it. There it is, that lovely texture. The nice thing about this is it's kind of wrapping around. It actually looks pretty good. So again, we can do that with all of our stuff. But what I like to do is I like to add patterns. All right. Yes, Biola is my go-to as well. A lot of times with, we'll talk about film grading in a second. Let's add a pattern in here. So how we're going to do that is we're going to bring out our appearance panel. Hello, Muriel. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining me. We already have this fill of purple. We don't want to get rid of this, right? Because if we come over here and we change this purple to a pattern, it's going to get rid of that purple altogether, right? When really what I want to do is I want to add this texture to the purple, or add this pattern to the purple. So we'll change this back to purple. Sure enough, there it is. Open up your appearance panel, and now we can start stacking one fill on top of another. So add a new fill, boom. And then we'll add sort of our texture just like so, right? So there it is, all our little dots, a number of cool textures that I've given to you guys. But they're also largely available in Illustrator to begin with. And I can show you where those are. This is vibrating a lot, right? I like this one. And again, I can always change this lovely color to something else that might be easier on the eyes. I don't know, something like that. It's definitely vibrating a lot. Okay, boom, boom. There we have it. Cool. Appearance panel is your friend. It's like my best friend, because you could really start stacking this up all you want. You could add another fill on top of here and make it different dots or lines, whatever the case may be. But you can see how you could really start stacking all this stuff one on top of the next to get some cool textures. Cool. So into that, we've added that. That looks good. You might want to scale it down. Check this out. You can go to your free transform tool. Let's say we want these dots to be larger. Let's go to our free transform tool. Make sure that fill is selected, the one that has all the little dots. You can double click on the... Hold on. Hold on. Oh, sorry, the scale tool. I'm going to go to the scale tool. I'm going to double click on it. And you could scale this. You can say, hey, you know what? Don't scale all that other stuff. Just scale the patterns. And you can bring it up to, say, 200%. Right? Click OK. And now it's 200% larger. Okay? Another thing you can do is you should be able to... Why is it... Hold on. Yeah, there we go. You can hold down the tilde key. The little squiggly line, hold down that tilde key that's below the escape key. You might need to hold down the... oh, wait, hold on. Not the shift key. Tilde. Make sure you have that selected. Tilde key, and then you can hold down... My shift key is basically constraining it. So when you have the scale tool selected... and you hold down the tilde key, you can scale the pattern any way you want, right? So that's the idea. I like the smaller one. Okay, now this is where I should get a question about sort of wrapping maybe a texture around like a sphere or something. That would be fun. Can we do that? Heck yeah, we can. Let's get rid of that. Let's go in here. Wait for it. Let's just change this to a different color. Let's take this. Let's drop this into our symbols. So we have this pattern, looks cool. We'll drop it into our symbols. We'll click OK. I just called it new symbol. Now we'll go to, say, this shape. We'll edit the 3D revolve, and we'll map art to the outside of the sphere. So right in here, we can jump in. Sure enough, I didn't really name it. I did name it the default of new symbol 12. I'll select that, and sure enough, you can see that it's wrapping around that sphere, okay? It's actually showing the color through it because there's still a color on the inside of that. So this is just really interesting that it's doing that. But anyways, I just thought this leak was this look was kind of cool, right? So, and you could see how sort of like your AT&T logos made, things like that. There it is. Notice how it's not wrapped all the way around? Well, guess what? We can always fix that. Go back into 3D Revolve, Map Art, and right in here, we just need to scale it to fit or just grab it and extend it out like so to make sure it goes from edge to edge and click OK. Cool, so super fun. I want you guys to just have fun, sort of making some 3D elements, give a graphic some form and some shape, right? Create those cool shapes, map art to them, right? And then export it out, right? Just so you know, if you get into the squares, so 3D extrude and bevel, sorry I don't have any other textures in here, but yeah, I got time. There's always time. Appearance panel. Here we are. Oh, break link to symbol. All right. Anyway, so let's draw out something else. Let's do that. It's going to be a perfect square. I'm going to fill it maybe with some dots, like so. And make sure we have another fill in there. And the background's going to be, I don't know, green, why not? Here we have our other electric color that I could drop into the symbols panel and then do the same for this square. Extrude and bevel, map art. Oh, there we have it. Boom. We can click through. It has obviously 6 size. 1, 2. Select that next one. And provided I'm not rotating this into place just because I don't got that kind of time. I'm just going to move through this very fast. There it is. This is a pretty big file, by the way. Let's get... It'll typically highlight it. By the way, since I'm on side 3, it actually highlights it in red, so I know it actually is that bottom piece. And again, feel free to do that with different textures. You get the idea. There we are. Click OK. Adjust the lighting. Which doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot for this. Or it's taking a second to render, but you get the idea. There we are. Make something trippy and cool and then export it out, right? When you're done. Keep in mind you could always rasterize this, or not rasterize. Expand appearance, which is the equivalent of rasterizing when it comes to the vector world. So feel free to do that. Chris Trogenus is in the house, everybody. What's up, Chris? Good to see you, man. Hopefully this day is treating you well. It is for me. So have some fun making some cool patterns and then post to the Discord, okay? So, and again, if you're watching the Encore presentation, I hope you guys really are diving into what you can do with 3D elements and mapping those textures to them. Yeah, because you could, this is just the beginning of some really cool stuff, hopefully for you. Right, so there we are, drop it in challenge. So this is form and texture in an 80s world. Boom, done. Big shout out to Sasha Polar for doing her creations. Illumimango, DK Balerns, Heidi, Mona, Dami. Yeah, everybody's doing a good job creating stuff, and that's what I want to see. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. That's it. Let me know if you guys have questions. Yeah, Jennifer's, yeah, the key thing is, you know, I'm glad you're focused on Photoshop and then Illustrator, because I don't know a designer that doesn't use both. So use the best tool for the job. In my opinion, everything starts out in Illustrator and then ends up in Photoshop. So thanks so much, everybody. Be kind to one another. Drink lots of water, you know, things like that. Geez, I still have a minute. I never finish early. I don't even know what to do with myself now. Let's see if I can open up one more piece of artwork to really get you inspired. So, what is it called? Abstract art. Might not be able to find it in time. Anyway, just know I have other examples of this under, I don't know, in one of these other folders. Oh, and possible geometry. Maybe that's where it is. Here you go, just to inspire you. Here's some fun work that you can do with 3D, right? Impossible rectangle, impossible triangle. Ended up making an animation out of that one. We got infinity bananas, all sorts of things. So yeah, you guys get the idea. Have fun with it, make some cool stuff, take it to the next level. And I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. And up next, you can check the schedule below. All right. More later. I'll probably post this to Instagram, and that's all I have for you. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. I hope to see your work on Discord. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you, Randall. Great. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. See ya.